I'm going to scream as loud as I can, and I'm going to keep screaming as loud as I can while I spin around. And I'll keep going until my breath runs out.
Great.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was outstanding. Thank you.
Thank you.
The quietest place on Earth is apparently an anechoic chamber in Minneapolis. Now I'm here at BYU at their anechoic chamber. Anechoic is Latin, it basically means no echo. And the way they achieve no echo is through all of these foam wedges which are put on the walls and even the floor. You can see that I'm actually on a spring floor, and down below me there are all of these wedges. Now you may want to use headphones while you're listening to this video because that's going to be quite important.
Low frequency sound will come in and by the shape of it bounce and just keep bouncing pretty much forever until it just gets lost in the wall. And then high frequencies are more so going to get absorbed into the foam itself.
You can hear how the room deadens echoes by clapping constantly while closing the doors.
Totally changes the quality of the sound.
Definitely.
There are reports that it's impossible to stay in one of these rooms and remain sane for a significant period of time. The record is apparently 45 minutes.
I felt a little claustrophobic. It felt like there's a lot of pressure on my head.
But why would that be? I mean, the air is no different in here.
What I figured is just because when you listen in a normal room, there's a lot of reverb. To your ear, that means there's a lot of space, but there's none of that in here, so it feels claustrophobic.
It feels like you're in a tiny room, like you could be in a coffin.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, I think it's really an anxiety response. So you're used to having these sounds around you, and then you don't anymore, and so you start to panic because you don't have something you're used to. And I think that anxiety can increase and cause some stress, and maybe that's why people go crazy or hallucinate with sound. It's just because they're trying to make up for what they're used to that isn't there.
When I bring people in, I warn them, hey, if you get a little dizzy, please let me know so I can get you out of the room before you make a mess in our expensive facilities.
First, you'll hear any rustle of your clothing. So you move an inch and you'll hear it. Then you'll hear any fluids that are in your mouth or your throat. You'll hear them all moving around every time you move your mouth. And the longer you stay in there, the more you hear. So you start to hear the blood flow through your brain.
Have you heard it?
Mm-hmm.
What
yeah, it sounds kind of like a ringing or a pulsing.
Can you kind of make the sound for us so that we know what to listen out for?
Of the blood flow?
Yeah,
it just sounds like a pulsing, like... Some people say they can hear their heartbeat coming from their chest as well.
Have you heard that?
No. Mm-mm.
A violinist placed in one of these rooms was apparently banging on the door within a matter of seconds trying to get out. Now other people say it's impossible to stand up because you become so disoriented, dizzy, nauseous, and some people even hear oral hallucinations. But to me it doesn't sound right. You know, I believe that I should be able to sit in a room with no sound, with the lights off for as long as I like. And so I'm going to put myself to the test by staying in this room for as long as I can.
Have fun in silence.
Thank you. Now it is just me in the anechoic chamber. And this is probably the quietest place I have ever been. And in a second, I'll tell the guys, shut the lights off. Okay, I think... Oh, I'm ready. And the lights are off. I'm going to turn off the camera so I don't have this light. And then there's only the audio recorder that I'll keep with me. I'm not sure how long I've been in here, but I still feel quite comfortable. It's nice and quiet. I mean, that's an understatement. But it's relaxing. If I hear anything, I feel like I hear a low-pitched hum.
If I had to guess about how long I'd been in here, I'd say about 8 minutes. I feel like I'm more aware of my heart. I can feel each pulse, and I can almost feel it radiating up my chest towards my head, like a wave. And in my ears there's the hiss. I think that's just from hearing loss. This just reminds me of that Mission Impossible movie where Tom Cruise sneaks into that building and he has to keep his decibel level low. That was the burp. I don't know if you could hear that. I can say the really small sounds seem amplified. It's like your brain has recalibrated, so the quiet things seem much louder. I feel like I can feel more things, like with every beat of my heart it feels like my body shakes a little bit. Like a device that has a little motor inside it, how it gets shook around like a phone. Okay, Cameron, looks to me like we're good for time. If it looks the same to you, like we're around 46 minutes or over, I'm happy to hop out. So, yeah, when you're ready, you can flip the lights back on if you like. Are you there? Hello? I think I've been here for nearly an hour, according to my time checks, and I didn't fall asleep. I just, I've had a good time. It's a nice quiet space. I kind of feel like this would be a good material to pad your bedroom in. Not a problem. Anechoic chamber, 45 minutes, an hour. Easy. I could stay in here for 5 hours. I think I could get a lot of work done in here. So now I just have to get out. And I'm going to see if I can exit this room without them turning the lights on. Even the door is nice and quiet. Here we are, back to the outside world. Whew. Hello. How you doing?
Live?
I am.
I don't really understand how anyone could go crazy in there. I mean, quiet is kind of nice. But then again, there are people who find all sorts of situations really uncomfortable, like just being in a pitch black room or being in a small confined space. So maybe those types of people would find this kind of unnerving.
I definitely noticed that there were a lot of noises. Like, it wasn't just pure silence. Like, I actually had to work hard to make things feel silent. Otherwise, there was the sound of like just me rubbing my beard, or just like the rustle of your clothes, or every time you swallow, or when you breathe. Perhaps the weirdest thing I noticed was like my sense of my heart. I just felt like it was pumping really hard, and I could feel almost like the blood pushing up through me. It wasn't like I was hearing it, it was just like I was feeling it. And I was feeling as though, in a way, my heart was shaking my body. That was something weird. But besides that, nothing crazy. No weird hallucinations or anything like that. So I think the myth that you can't stay in here for longer than 45 minutes is busted. Even though this is not Mythbusters, I still think it's not true.
Now, if you really hate silence, you should always carry an audiobook around with you. And I can recommend a good one, The Fault in Our Stars by my friend John Green. It is an excellent book, and it's been basically at the top of the bestsellers ever since it was released. And soon there's a movie coming out, and so you probably want to get through the book before you go and see the movie. Now, you can download this book for free by going to audible.com/veritasium, or you can pick any other book of your choosing for a 1-month free trial. Audible is an amazing site with over 150,000 titles in all areas of literature, including fiction, non-fiction, and periodicals. So you should check them out. The link is in the doobly-doo, as John would say. So I'd like to thank Audible for supporting me, and I would like to thank you for watching.